It's the Hershey and Keegs Show.
Welcome to Hershey and the Keegs Show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
Well, thank you, Colin Cosell. Like he said, it's Tuesday night, 9 p.m. We're live. It's the boys that like to fill your souls and warm your holes.
Yeah,
and
we
that's
do.
what we do, I think.
We do. We like to do both.
We do both.
Both of those very well.
We wait all day to do that.
Yeah.
We wait all week to do it. Actually, nice glasses. Those
Yeah.
Those new?
I wore these once before, I think, for part of a show, and it enraged a lot of people. And the truth is, we know in entertainment that any publicity is good publicity, especially bad.
That's right.
And so I happen
entertainment and what we do. It's,
yes. I happen to really like these glasses.
I like them a lot.
And I like the way they look on me. But I know for a fact that there are many people that disdain them.
Suzanne Galina.
Sue Galina is one of them that disdains them. But there's others. There's plenty of others. So therefore, I think that it's important that I stick to who I am, the true girl that I am.
Yeah, you're kind of pushing the envelope.
I'm pushing the envelope. Yeah. I'm pushing the envelope.
Well, I think they look nice. I like
the
what this thing's called.
Yeah,
what's that called?
Ears.
Not your ears.
Oh,
what's the thing the part of the glasses that goes on behind your ears?
Is
it the stem?
Stems? What are
they
called?
Stems?
The glasses, the arms,
arms, maybe arms.
No.
I like your glasses. Arms.
Glasses. I don't know what they're called, but thank you for enjoying them, and it's good to be back this week.
Oh, it is.
We had a really we had a good show last week, and we're gonna ride that wave. We're gonna ride that wave.
I'm planning on riding it.
Yeah, you had. You had texted me. I want to start the show off. People need to understand that we have a great system, Mike and I. We have a great system, which is basically I prepare everything and Mike comes to the show. But you know what's hilarious, though? I'll tell you what's funny is Mike had an idea that he wanted to talk about today, and on Sunday he texted me, "Hey, could you write down that I have something to talk about?" So I don't know. There was a story that happened this weekend, something involving Tony, or is that two different stories that you wanted to tell?
Does it involve Tony? No, it doesn't involve Tony. But
okay.
It was my weekend. Ask me how my weekend was.
So how was your weekend, and what is this story potentially?
No,
about?
don't mention that there's a story. Just ask me how my weekend.
How was your weekend, bud?
Oh man, was this a weekend? I got a story for you.
Oh, okay. That was smooth. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
So this whole weekend, I was working for a booker, same booker Friday, Saturday night, both Richie Byrne and I, and
out of state.
Okay.
Okay.
And we get all the information. They say Friday night you're in Allentown.
Okay.
And Saturday night you're in Yardley, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So I'm like, it's not too far, but I'm like, you know what? We're gonna be in Pennsylvania, Allentown, Yardley, Pennsylvania. I don't feel like driving to and from Friday, Saturday. I'm like, let's get a hotel room. So we book hotel room. Richie books a room. I book a room, and we get there. I leave work. We have day jobs.
Yeah.
Just to keep us humble.
Mm-hmm.
And I leave work 4:00. We drive all the way to just about Allentown, Pennsylvania.
4:00 doesn't even feel like enough. I hope
it doesn't
it was.
feel like enough, but you know what? It's an 8:30 start. 8:30 start.
Oh, okay, okay.
4.5 hours.
Okay.
We'll get there probably 45 minutes before the show starts.
Gotcha.
Freshen up at the hotel room.
Sure.
Drive to the show.
Understood.
Just about in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm like, you know what? Let me Waze where we are compared to where the show is.
Yeah.
No, not Yardley Saturday. Yardley Saturday.
Okay.
This is Allentown.
Gotcha.
So we get to Allentown, Pennsylvania. I Google the venue, and it says an hour and 45 minutes away.
What?
I go, Rich, check your Waze. It says we're an hour and 45 minutes away.
What?
We're in Allentown, Pennsylvania. How big is Allentown, Pennsylvania?
How big is Allentown all of a sudden?
So Richie calls the booker. He goes, hey, Joe, we got a problem here. We're in Allentown. It says we're an hour and 45 minutes away. The booker goes, you kidding? You're absolutely, you got to be kidding me. You're effing me here. You're really effing. What do you mean? Like, we're here. We're in Allentown. He goes, it's Allentown, New Jersey.
Oh, my God.
Who the hell ever heard of Allentown, New Jersey?
Certainly not Billy Joel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Billy Joel didn't write a song about Allentown, New Jersey.
Didn't.
Yeah, that was not the Pennsylvania he was looking for.
Nope. No,
Pennsylvania
it wasn't.
he never found.
That's
It was the
correct.
Pennsylvania we never found because it's Jersey.
Shit.
'Cause so we look at the message and it said Friday Allentown,
Yeah.
Saturday Yardley, PA. Why don't you write Allentown, NJ?
That's exactly right.
You know?
But okay, my question is, when you guys left East Meadow or wherever you left, why didn't you just punch in the venue right?
So what I did was I punched the venue in and I punched the hotel in.
Yeah.
And it said it took 3 hours and 20 minutes to get the venue.
Yeah.
And 3 hours and 40 minutes to get to the hotel. So
Right.
it never clicked.
Yeah.
But it's 3 hours and 20 minutes to Jersey,
That's
3 hours
right.
and 40 to Pennsylvania. So it never
Okay.
really clicked.
So now you're in PA. You have to get
In
to
PA.
Jersey, and then
now,
what?
now this is 7:45. Show starts at 8:30.
Yeah.
Well, like we could get there in an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Start the show a little bit late. You know,
Yeah.
he was hosting the show, so I do
All
a
right.
little extra time. We walk in, we'll jump on. He goes, nope,
Yeah.
nope, not happening. Not happening. He goes, if you know anybody, comedians in Central New Jersey, then send them my way. I'm like, we're not gonna, this is the worst feeling in the world that we're gonna miss this gig now, and we're
Yeah.
also working for the guy Saturday.
Right.
So he goes, no, don't come. He ended up getting comedians that were available on a Friday night.
Local
There were
comedians,
local guys.
Yeah, I'm sure they were
And
destroyers.
sure they were excellent.
Yeah.
But no, so he so now we're like, he's not going to use us tomorrow. So now we're out the money for the weekend.
Hotel.
And the hotel.
Right.
And we're driving back to Long Island. And also I made a wrong turn coming home and ended up in Midtown. On
What,
22nd
you thought he was
Street.
going to bang you for Saturday?
I thought for sure because he was pissed. So I'm
Okay.
like, he's not going to use us tomorrow.
Right, of
so we ended
course.
up coming back. We didn't stay in the hotel
Oh
that
God,
night.
what a cluster!
So now we're about halfway home,
Yep.
and we get a message. He goes, "All right, everything worked out. See you guys tomorrow in Yardley, PA."
And,
So I'm like,
and you're in Limbrook at this
now
point.
now we're basically on Long Island,
Right.
And it's funny because I picked Richie up in Belmore,
Yep.
and we ended up at the New Bridge Inn in Belmore. I'm
Yes.
like, we just took the longest route to get
go
to the New
Belmore.
Bridge Inn.
Yes.
It's 5 hours later.
Was Bill Morales' wife working?
She
by the
was
way?
working. She was.
Oh,
Lauren
that's
was
awesome.
working that night. I love Bill Morales' wife.
I didn't want to go.
No,
yeah,
should've
I love
called
the
you.
New Bridge Inn.
Yeah.
So
Great food there.
So did you wind up losing the money for the hotel room?
So lost the money for the hotel room.
you did. You had to pay for that hotel room.
Paid for the hotel room.
Jesus.
And then we didn't get paid for Friday night, but
Right.
Saturday night he realized he kind of messed up a little bit because he actually posted on Facebook Friday Allentown, PA.
Wow.
So that's what really screwed me up. 'Cause I'm
Right.
like, I saw PA.
You knew
somewhere.
you saw it. You knew you saw it somewhere, and you didn't
So-
even know that wasn't. It was a trick, and he definitely got over on you guys.
Yeah,
he was trying to trick
he
you.
got the treat. It was a trick. He tricked us, and he got the
Why
treat.
didn't you guys at this point just stay in the hotel since you paid for it, though?
We were just really
Yeah.
furious.
Oh,
and
wow.
Just wanted to get home, and
But it worked out in the long
it
run.
ended up working out in the long run. Like we lost some money for the hotel, but he gave us a little bit of extra money, so we kind of made up for the money from
The
Friday.
one question I have, and again, I'm not exactly the road comic, but you and Richie are buddies. You guys are, even if you're making decent coin on these gigs, there's never any consideration for just sharing a room together for that first night.
I don't want to. He snores.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. No, but I mean, in general, the comics
No,
sometimes.
we could. No, they do. They definitely
Yeah.
do. They definitely. I've shared rooms with comics that I've never met before.
Yeah.
And but with Richie, I don't want to. He's
Yeah.
like, it's like traveling with Liz Taylor. He's
Okay,
such
gotcha.
a diva.
Yeah, yeah, and with the big tits.
And
yeah.
with the those
Yeah.
big giant titties
Yeah.
he's got. Hello,
Nice.
sir. How are you, brother?
What's up, buddy?
All right, good. Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
did
absolutely.
Did you ask Mark if that's okay?
It's totally. I think we're okay.
I know he's.
Yeah.
I know, that's why I turned him just now. I said, he's just gonna. Sit
So
on the couch."
just so you people know, so you're understanding why we're talking off camera over there. Tony, our producer's son, had stopped to have dinner with him because Tony was here at the studio all day today. He was working on a project going on at the club.
Yep.
So Zach Walker, who I know I worked on projects with before, great young man, 5 Towns College graduate, and food deliverer for his pop. Is here and he's going to eat, and he's a wonderful young
Good.
man.
All right. Well, hello, Zach.
So did the Saturday work out though? So
Saturday
it
worked out. Great
Okay.
show, great
Yeah.
venue. It was at this place called Di Lorenzo's Tomato Pies.
Oh, it sounds like it's you're really doing well.
But I'll
then.
tell you
Yeah.
like I was like, oh, it's a pizzeria, but dude, they clear the whole restaurant out at 8
the
o'clock.
whole place?
They clear the whole place out.
So all 6
set it up
tables
like
are
a
wide
comedy
open.
club. Believe it or not, the place is huge. It held about 200 people.
Shut up.
Yep, they set it
Wow.
up like a comedy club, stage, seating, and the pizza there is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Portnoy rated it a 9.2.
Son of a bitch.
Yep. DiLorenzo's in Yardley, PA.
There's not many scores that are above 9. I track this religiously.
Very few and far between.
Wow.
It was a Dave Portnoy 9.2.
So
and great venue. And listen, everyone had a little bit of responsibility. It's not totally the booker's fault.
Yeah.
It's not our fault.
Sounds like the booker's fault.
It's
But,
the booker. No.
yeah.
No, he's a super nice guy.
Richie admitted, because Richie was in here yesterday.
Yeah.
He admitted that the original message he got when you booked it said New Jersey.
Yeah, he got it's his fault. It's really Richie's fault. I never got a message with the address, but this is a message. The original message was sent in October, so Richie went back to his messages from October.
Clearly, he has forgotten so many things since October.
Richie's forgotten things since Friday.
I mean, geez, Louise.
Yeah.
There's no shot that Richie has any.
Oh my God, that guy's burnt.
Yeah.
And he also, burn.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
He also complained that he had to take that long drive there and back through the city with you in the car. He said there were all sorts of smells in that car.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I quote him.
Yeah. It wasn't pretty for a little while there.
Here's the
Especially
thing.
with like a nervous stomach from missing the gig.
Okay, great. That sounds nauseating. Here's the thing, though. As the booker, and I don't know this guy from a hole in the wall, but as the booker, it's really your responsibility, especially when there's little tricks.
Yeah.
Like
Allentown, New
like
Jersey.
if you tell someone, you're working in the Comedy Cellar in Manhattan, and then you find out when you get there, no, I meant Manhattan, Missouri.
Yeah, exactly.
No, what? What
yeah,
the
no, you're in Pittsburgh, Ohio.
It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
So
you got to be clear with that, and like I was talking to our buddy Eric Heft, I was with him yesterday.
Your buddy.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. Always like a seal. Ooh.
I've never missed a French fry.
That was a good. Tony just fired.
I wasn't even looking.
Tony just threw a fucking French fry like he was Nolan Ryan at Mike. Mike wasn't even looking. He was turned around and he caught it like he was fucking Keith Hernandez in the '86 playoffs. Holy shit! What the fuck was that?
If that was a carrot, it would have went right by me.
I would love to see you at the Japanese food restaurant when they're flinging fucking.
Oh yeah,
they're flinging little broccoli pieces.
Exactly. I know. I'm good at that. That
was remarkable.
Skill. I have one.
I don't
skill.
even know if when we watch it back, if people can even see it. Like it was such a blur.
You see when Mr. Miyagi catches the fly with the chopsticks?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that was phenomenal.
So the weekend ended up working out good.
It worked out. Did you guys sleep over Saturday as well?
No, we drove back right after the show.
So you were home not that bad
I was
on
home,
Saturday.
Yeah, we made it home in good time.
Okay.
Went home and slept all day Sunday.
I love how Richie, I love Richie.
No, you don't.
No, I do love Richie, but I love how he tells Tony that it smelled all, like, I'm sure he was no goddamn fucking
wasn't. And at one
rosebush.
point, we both farted in the car,
nice,
and they
nice.
joined forces.
Oh, wow. Wow. So that was like Chernobyl in 1981.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Vile.
But he's disgusting
He's
himself.
an animal.
He is an
total animal. You both are, and no one should be casting aspersions on each other in this situation.
Especially us two. And dude, on Friday night on our way back, like we were both hungry. We didn't have dinner, so we stopped at Newbridge Inn, which has great food.
Fucking
he
wings,
got the
man.
boneless swings. I've never seen
got the
anyone
boneless
sweat.
swings.
Boneless swings.
You just swinging there in the bar.
No bone.
No bones, just swings.
I've never seen a man sweat so much.
Oh, like a whore in church.
February.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eating mild wings.
You're right. There's not even any glaze on it.
No, he doesn't
he's just
get it.
eating plain fried wings, and he's He's got Purdue.
He's gross.
Purdue wings, and he's boiling. Richie. It couldn't have been the 65 watt of whiskeys he has in him at the time.
That's true.
Though.
Exactly. He's on vodka now. He's on a vodka kick.
A vodka?
So, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, he's keeping it slim, so that's good. Did you guys have regular wings there or no?
Well, it was Friday, so I couldn't have meat.
Oh, okay. So you can have.
Because I don't want to go to hell. I
like
had
French fries, pasta.
I had a veggie quesadilla.
Oh, that's not bad.
The quesadillas at New Virginia are very, very good. But the wings looked awesome. The wings I've had.
So I will tell you that the wings at Newbridge Inn are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Our old friend Bill Morales' wife, Lauren, works there.
Yeah.
And me, DiDomenico, and Bill Morales used to go there. We'd hang out once in a while there. Anthony hung out there more than me, and certainly Bill was there a lot. But I went there and broke bread with them a couple of times.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen it, you need to go out for wings with Bill Morales. It is the most bizarre thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
So the wings come, and Bill is prepared, almost like Rain Man, like Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man. He's prepared with napkins that he has actually cut up, and he takes them and he wraps them around the. He'll only have the drumsticks, so you can actually grab a hold of them, and he'll wrap the wing with the napkin, and that's how he eats the wing. He will not touch his fingers.
I don't respect that at all.
It's a bizarre thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you know Bill, which we both do, it's fitting.
He's got his quirks. He's
a napkin wing holder guy. Yeah.
Like Carla sometimes eats her wings with a fork and knife, and I'm like, I don't know why I
criminal.
hate you.
You should be in a penitentiary doing that.
You should go to jail.
That's criminal.
Yeah.
Listen, if you have to order something like that and then go with a fork and knife, just don't order it.
Don't order it.
If you're going with a fork and knife where you have barbecue spare ribs,
there's a whole
sorry,
menu.
there's other things.
Exactly.
Go get the spaghetti.
Wing etiquette.
I mean,
There's wing etiquette.
So if you ever go with Bill, you will be stunned by this, or you won't be stunned.
Lauren, I've actually known since I was like 16 years old. We used to work at Old Navy together. It was my first job.
Is that true?
Yeah. And so we go way back.
She's a great kid.
She is.
She's a really good kid.
And we had a fun night there. There were a lot of good people. New Bridgeton's a great spot.
Yes, very good.
John Consoli's best friend from high school owns it.
Oh, I met that guy before. What's his name?
Really nice. Gary?
Gary, yeah. Gary's been around there for a long time.
Me and Richie were there one night.
He's a good guy.
Me and Richie were there one night. We had a couple of drinks.
Yep.
And there's a Marine drill instructor hat on the wall.
Yeah.
And Gary goes, yeah, that's John Consoli's drill instructor hat from when he was at Paris Island. He was a DI there. He was the youngest drill instructor ever.
Oh, yeah.
This hat was so tiny. John Consoli has a tiny little head.
Well, he's not a big guy, John Consoli.
No, he's a very little guy.
Yeah.
But we had a couple of drinks. I go to Richie. I'm like, should I put it on?
Oh, my God.
And Gary goes, listen.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Because first of all, it's disrespectful to the military,
right,
and anybody who served. But also, Consoli's a maniac, and he would murder us.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not. There's nothing funny about it. Which is,
I had this little tiny drill instructor hat on.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Yeah, and you were a lot larger then, so if that little tiny cap was
on,
in
a little hat.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't do that.
I did not.
I'm glad you didn't, and so I'm glad that you had a nice weekend.
It was rough, but it ended up working out.
Speaking of rough, we had
dogs.
We had an episode today, all of us, and I didn't even know, to be honest with you. And still, I started getting texts from people, and people were messaging me, not on Facebook or Instagram, obviously, but Facebook was down, Instagram was down for about 30-something minutes, and I'm like, why are people asking me, like, do I look like Mark Zuckerberg? Like,
well, you kind of do a little bit.
Wait, Mark Zuckerberg?
You're like a Jewier Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh.
You're like Mark Zuckerberg.
I am like Mark Zuckerberg, yeah.
You do look a little bit.
People were like asking me, like I'm like, is that what people think I do all day? Like,
dude, you were the first person I thought of. Only even if you weren't
Jewy.
No, you are. Even if you didn't have access to my Facebook, that's why I was blaming. But I'm like, I hope Hirschman's okay. This is like 37 minutes.
That
with
was
no
so
Facebook.
funny.
I'm like, what is he doing for 30? But no, you were the first person I thought of. I'm like, what did he do? Did he got me kicked off or something?
Mikey texted me asking me for his Facebook password. because I sometimes have access to it, so I can post things because he doesn't, and of course he his password is we've talked about this before, but it's a horrific, horrible thing about me. Let's just say it involves my enjoyment of swallowing a certain fluid. Okay, so and it's just not nice, but that's what is
water, spring water.
It's not water. It's not water, and
Mark loves spring water.
Yeah. So I'm not going to have anyone guess, and it does involve some numbers and such.
Guess. If anybody wants to guess, go ahead.
Guess away.
Oh, boy.
DJ Love, go ahead. Guess away.
Oh, I know what Mark liked.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it had nothing to do with me.
And I wasn't sure. I knew it was something vulgar about you, but I'm like sending Mark. I'm like, is it this vulgar thing about you or this vulgar thing about you?
No.
But you were I'm like, what did he do? He got me banned from Facebook.
No.
But you were the first person to know that Facebook was down.
I was freaking the fuck out. I'm
Yeah.
like, what's going on here? My password wasn't working, and then Instagram was down. But no. You've been doing an okay job with things. You've been working on our social media, and I don't even know if I don't think I told you this, but
we got about 6,000 views on the some of our opuses this week.
Well, so the funny thing is though, you had posted on a TikTok of me talking last week about how I was at Barbie Doll's house and I opened up some food and I thought it was delicious breaded chicken fingers or whatever it was, and it wound up being fish. The punchline was that I had taken a bite of it thinking it was chicken and it was fish, which I don't eat fish, so I was gagging. So what's interesting is that when you posted it, it never actually posted with the punchline. It just posted about me eating chicken fingers, and I looked at the numbers, and it was the highest viewed TikTok that we've had. It was the highest viewed TikTok that we've had in like months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So these people, they don't want us trying to be funny. They just want me talking about the thick breaded chicken finger on TikTok.
Just a delicious chicken finger. You should start doing food reviews.
Because I saw it and I'm like, oh, they must really love that joke. And then I'm watching it and it keeps on starting. So I'm like,
why does it keep starting over?
But I'm like,
never ends.
What's so funny here? And I'm like, wait a second, they never got to it though.
No, they just people love listening to you talk about eating chicken.
Yeah. So I saw it. I'm like, boy, Mike did a good job cutting this one up like this. Yeah. But you just
hey, it got views.
It did. It worked. It definitely worked.
Marky Page views.
It was. Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Did you guys see, by the way, I don't even know, have you been following this story with the bodies? So can explain to me, there was body parts that turned up in Babylon, and then there was somewhere else.
And now in like Belmont Park or something, I think
was
it is.
Was it Bethpage or Belmont?
Bethpage State Park, I think, right?
Bethpage State Park.
Bethpage, yes.
The first thing I heard, there was a leg. They found a leg.
Yeah.
And
no, it was the arm first.
It was the arm.
We had a caller on.
Oh, and then it was a wing.
That's right. And there was two thighs, and they found a biscuit right next to it.
So we had a caller on my show Friday, a woman who lives right there.
Okay.
So she said, they found an arm, then it was a leg, then another arm, then they found a head.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. And now I've heard this from two separate people.
Was it shaped like a potato? Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head. You know, like Mr. Potato Head.
No, I understood.
Sorry. All right. Okay, go ahead. So,
but then the rumor is that they found, but the news hasn't reported this, but I heard this from two different people. There's a rumor that they found a dick.
Really?
Oh, really?
That is the rumor, yes.
Wow.
So did we.
Hey! Yay!
Really, they're finding,
Thank you.
and there's nothing like saying whether it's the same person or how heavily decomposed it is. If it's recent,
it was recent, and then today they announced that they did make arrests, but I haven't heard.
Oh, really?
I've been here, but I've been here all day, so I don't know anything past that.
Has anyone seen Jeff Bosey?
We know it's not Rex Yorman. We know it's not him.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's definitely not. I didn't know anything about it, and I'm in the barber chair on, I guess it was Friday when it happened, and the dynamic of my barbershop is hilarious because it's generally Russian barbers and just elderly bigots from Levittown. You know, that's usually what the dynamic is, and then there's me sitting there getting this atrocity of a haircut. And so the conversation between these two guys, the Russian old barber and the old bigot, and the guy's like, yeah, hear what happened with those bodies they found in the park? And, you know, the guy's like, oh, yeah, that's the MS-13. And the guy's like, yeah, well, what do you expect from the Chinese? And I'm like, no. I'm like, it's not what the MS-13.
Chinese, the blacks.
Are they saying this is MS-13? Is that what they're?
It would make sense. It would make sense. That's what they do. That because they use the machetes, the MS-13.
So is this like an initiation thing? Is it? Is that what it is?
Sounds like probably what it is.
Oh God,
it's the El Salvadorians or the MS-13.
Isn't that what? So is Carla in the MS-13?
Yeah.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Or what's the female version of the MS-13?
La Raza. I don't know what it is, but she
Is she an essay?
she's
What does that
something.
mean?
She's definitely an essay.
I don't know what that means, but I just love. I want to be
She's
called an
something.
essay.
All right, what up?
I used to write essays when I was in
Yes,
school, so I think I
exactly.
should be able to.
You are an essay.
Are you doing some
an
research,
essay.
Tone? You
The
got it.
suspect allegedly chopped up his girlfriend.
Oh boy.
And the man he believed his girlfriend cheated with.
Oh,
So it
a
was
lover's quarrel.
Crime of passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
All right. So it's not. See, look at you. Oh, these bigots from Levittown. You're blaming MS-13.
That's what the Russian barber was saying.
Oh,
it was the
okay.
Chinese MS-13.
No. Did
Yeah.
they say what color this guy was? Sounds like a white guy.
Yeah, it's not.
That's-
It's not
that's-
saying so
It's a
far.
very white thing to do.
It seems like a white crime. It does. You're right.
Well, yeah, Babylon is a white area.
Yeah.
If assuming that's where the guy lived.
That's horrifying. Really horrifying.
Isn't Perillo live near Babylon?
Is there any way we can incorporate the story into my hatred for Mark Wahlberg again?
It's
Is it-
hey, I have no proof it's not Mark Wahlberg doing.
How
this
do we
stuff.
know that it
Yeah,
wasn't?
exactly.
The more I see this guy on TV or whatever he is, my disdain.
And he's just so smug.
Oh God, he really is. He's so rippled and
Yeah.
and muscular and but you can tell though his hair. He's starting to dye his hair. Like he's definitely got. He should be having some grays,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
now like that odd colored black. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna definitely start shredding him more on social media until we get him on
Mark
here. and we-
Wahlberg's not shredded.
No,
enough.
we're gonna clear this shit up with him. We're gonna definitely clear it up. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
I could probably get his brother on the show, Donnie.
You could get Donnie on
Probably.
the show.
He's not doing anything.
No, you can definitely get him. You know, you do see all the time. You go on Facebook, you see people like, "Oh, I saw Donnie Wahlberg."
Everybody,
today."
yeah, exactly.
Like, what is it? He's just is he an Uber driver? What is
Everybody
he
I
doing?
know like sees Donnie Wahlberg pretty regularly.
I'm just
My
saying.
friend like is a bartender in the East Village.
Yeah.
And,
What a
he goes, yeah.
surprise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, Donnie Wahlberg was in here the other day and got a grapefruit and club soda.
Yeah.
Tequila grapefruit.
I mean, grapefruit club
Grapefruit
soda.
and club soda. That sounds delicious.
He just gets
How
all
refreshing
non-alcoholic combination drinks.
How delicious does
He
that
had a
sound?
Sprite
How
with
refreshing.
pineapple juice, and he was
Ooh.
the nicest.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? You see it all the time. Like, oh, I was in TJ Maxx and I saw Donnie Wahlberg.
He does hang out at TJ Maxx.
Like,
a
why?
lot.
Why is he there all the
Yeah,
time?
Yeah.
He's
He's
not.
very accessible.
Yeah. So I think we had talked about this that I had told some of my buddies about us landing the OAR bassist.
Keyboard player,
and my buddy is very close friends apparently with the manager of ROA, and say that one more time. OAR, and and he said that for your visits to the concert this summer, he can. What did he say? I don't remember, but I texted you something.
He said he could probably get me backstage, I believe, right?
I don't remember what it was,
I
but it was
forget.
something good that
Something
he knows,
great.
You
'Cause
know,
I
OAR.
already have tickets to see them at Pier 17 in the city with sound check tickets.
Okay, wow.
So I'm basically
Check, yeah.
But I don't get to like meet them. I get to watch them do sound check.
Okay.
But if your friend can get me in there, to,
Yeah, we'll
meet
have
the
to talk
band.
as we get closer. Is there a show this summer at the Jones Beach Theater too?
They're not doing Jones Beach this year.
They're not,
doing Pier
okay.
17 instead because they're headlining the tour this summer.
When they did Jones Beach, were they the headliner of that tour? Or who were they with?
Not this year. This year they were with Goo Goo Dolls. Goo Goo Dolls was headlining.
Oh, so they could they carry Jones Beach as a headliner or no?
100%. I've seen them headline
Oh.
Jones. I've seen them headline at Madison Square Garden.
Well, that's incredible.
Yeah, they've sold out Madison Square Garden several times.
That's pretty impressive.
I was at a show. They taped their DVD at Madison Square Garden. Sold
Yeah.
out show.
Wow.
But yeah, I've seen them. They used to headline Jones Beach and have Modest Yahoo open for them. You know Modest
I
Yahoo.
absolutely know who Modest Yahoo
You're
is. I love
related
Modest
to him, I'm
Yahoo.
sure.
Obviously, Modest Yahoo, who's a used to be an Orthodox Jew, and then he's not as much anymore. But he's
Yeah.
a singer. Have you ever seen the viral video of him when he was at a bar in like Hawaii or something?
and the guy was singing his song?
The guy was singing his song, and then he just started singing it.
I cried.
Yeah.
I cried when I saw that.
Oh, I cried all the time when I watched that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's One Day is the name of the song. One Day.
Yes.
Modest Yahoo. It's at a coffee shop in Hawaii.
Yes.
And if you know the story, the guy he starts singing it with him, and he goes, He goes, you know who wrote that to the kid? And the kid goes, Madashahu. He goes, that's me. And he was playing a show and invited the kid to the show, brought him on stage. The kid goes, can I bring my girlfriend? And he went on stage and sang with him at the show.
Is there video of that?
I think there is video of him on the show.
Yeah.
We should get Madashahu on the show.
We'll get Madashahu. Yeah. I can get any Jew on the show that I want. Any Jew. We're a little club.
I stand with Israel.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. No, you say that because you like matzo ball soup. That's not. You don't give a shit at all about Israel at all.
Yeah, but if Israel goes, so does the matzo ball soup.
You're right. It's a good point.
Well, speaking of Jones Beach and the Wahlbergs, New Kids on the Block is playing Jones Beach in August.
Well, hello.
So maybe you can get Donnie
7th or 4th, I think it is. Yeah.
So we'll have him on here.
Going.
Yeah, we'll have.
I do plan on going. I would like to see them.
I would like to
perform.
go also, and we'll get Donnie on here to promote the show.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem. Yeah. I think we can do that. We are swinging a big dick lately. Hey
now.
No, I mean we had Frank the Tank on. We have Russ Salzberg coming on. We have the what's the position? The bassist?
No, he's a keyboard player.
Keyboard player from ROA. We're killing it.
We're killing it.
We're doing
killing
good.
The game here.
We are doing well. I do enjoy so far that we've gotten through 31 minutes without me. I had some vengeance built up against you, and I'm glad that I took some time.
You were a little bit persnickety this week.
You know what? There was because there's a couple of things that you infuriated me with. Okay,
what do I do?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what it was. Okay, so. Obviously, we all do this. We, in our downtime, we're going through reels and not just looking and we're sending each other funny things. And for me, one of the things that I enjoy most, and we talked even about it last week, is these videos where the basketball team allows the manager, who's been the manager for 4 years, to come on and play. And there was that kid who had autism.
Yeah, it's very heartwarming.
Yeah, the kid in Buffalo years ago, he came out and he shot like 6 3-pointers. He scored 20 points.
Yeah.
And I love that shit.
Feel good stories.
I love that shit. So I happen to be I saw a new one that came out recently this weekend, and this one was a little bit more intense. This young man was definitely afflicted with something that limited his walking, and so it was either cerebral palsy or something. It was something more severe than being on the Asperger's bubble, or whatever you call that on the spectrum. He had a walking issue, so you're a fucking idiot. So I'm watching the video, and they let him, and both teams actually helped him walk onto the court. Okay,
that's very cool.
Yeah, and it's obviously very emotional. And stop, Mike, stop.
No.
Yeah. So he takes the ball, and it's like 3 or 4 times, and finally he shoots it, and the fucking gym erupts. And when you watch a video, when you watch a video, and you can see if one of your friends also watches.
Oh yes.
Comment.
Yes.
So I scroll down and I look, and it's a comment from Mike Keegan Comedy, and it says I looked at the words, I wrote it down here. It looks like they let him get it in. It looks like they let him get it in. Well, of course they let him get it in.
They were not playing any defense on this kid.
But I'm like, why do you? Because you're going to get people mad when you do that. And it wasn't nice that you did that.
There's no defense. This is still a competitive game. Have a little self-respect for yourself.
I'm sure that they arranged it with both teams that it was going to happen this way.
So now you're patronizing the kid.
Listen,
I don't like shit like that.
Yeah, So there's people commenting. They're like, "Is this fucking guy crazy? This Mike Keegan? Who the fuck is this guy?" And
was it Tom Kelly?
Oh God! Why you been going out with Tom Kelly?
No, but he doesn't like when I do that.
What?
Stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, that's okay.
When I'm not sensitive or politically correct.
But it was, yeah. I mean, I obviously had a good laugh, but I'm like, this guy can't let anything slide. This fucking Keegan, he can't let anything slide.
Let him get it in.
So, yeah. I read it. I told you. It looks like they let him get it in, is what it said. This fucking idiot. So that was my first bone to pick, and then my second bone to pick, which is this
second. How many things?
So there's only listen, you know that I have a lot of friends, but as far as like close friends of mine who I text frequently, there's only 2 people in my life who I would say a percentage of the time don't text me back at all. There's people who are delayed in texts. There's people who get back to me the next day. Sometimes but Keegan and Sue, my neighbor, are the only 2 who will sometimes just ignore a text entirely. And I've gotten to a point where I'm okay with it because I know it's not personal. It just is what it is. But I'll never not get back to a text. You know that. Like if I
know that. Yeah.
I will always get back to
it all too well.
Yeah. But here's what I find funny, though. And I started to process some notes about all that I have done from Mike Keegan's life in the past few years, okay? And so Mike texted me
What possibly done for me?
Hold on a second.
Are we comparing what you've done for him?
There's no comparison. But we won't even do that because it's not. Nothing's gonna.
Sean Morton says Mike Keegan is an angel on earth.
That's right, Mark.
Morty. All right.
See?
Okay.
Thank you, Sean. I love you.
So
my
Sean,
friend.
not Sean.
Yeah,
he hasn't
Sean.
texted me in a while. Mikey texted me on Monday. Now I'm not gonna out this person, but there is a friend of mine who got me and Mike into a theater, we'll say, that they work at, and they got us some tickets, and we got into an owner's box or a luxury box, and this was a great experience that we had. Well, a couple of months later, Mike texts me saying, "Hey, can your hook help me with tickets for this event, a box, yada yada?" I'm like, dude, this is my hook. Like, I don't want you to fuck this up. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, all right, I'm not looking for a handout, which of course means she's looking for a fucking handout, obviously. But you know what? I'm like,
wait, you wrote a Facebook post that said that. Were you talking about me?
Oh, I certainly was. Yeah, I 100% was. I 100% was. Yeah. I definitely
finish your story, and I'll tell you how I'm not looking for a handout.
Okay. So anyway, but I say, you know what? This person happens to be such a good person and such a gracious person that chances are she will she'll do the solid. So I reached out to her. She's like, oh my God, I'll definitely be happy. This is a few weeks ago. I'm happy to help him, no problem at all. And she's going to arrange for this event for him to go to. At the time, it was 2 tickets, and that was that. So fast forward now, a couple of months later, it's Monday. He's like, hey, I'm not going to be able to go to that date, but what about the 14th or the 15th of that month? And I'm like, wait, that's an entirely different venue. It's like a different show. He's like, yeah, I couldn't go to that one, so I want to go to this one. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So, and I'm noticing that the response time on the text, like, I'm not even hitting send, and he's responding. I'm like, this is remarkable. The speed in which he's texting me back.
His thumbs are going at warp speed.
We've been doing this show now for 2 years, so I would say the amount of times that we've texted in the past 10 years that we know each other has been massively increased in the past 2 years, mostly because of me harassing him about things or bothering him or whatever the case may be. But this particular day, I'm sitting there and I'm like, this motherfucker is wearing me out. Like, he's responding back. It's like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, wait, it's like, because usually you put my phone down, I'll go back an hour later, and then there's Mike, or maybe there isn't. No, it was boom, boom, boom. It was just one after another. I'm like, this motherfucker. So then I wrote down, I'm like, I am going to make a little list. Okay, a list of things.
So was she able to get the tickets?
I didn't reach out to her yet. I'm going to tomorrow, though. I will reach out to her tomorrow.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a handout.
I understand.
I want to get into that box.
Mm-hmm.
I can get the ticket. I can get the tickets anywhere in the venue. That VIP box is awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
I'll totally pay for the VIP box, but I want to be in the VIP box.
Is anything worthwhile in there?
Well, Mike's mom is asking, "Where's the guest?" I don't know.
Oh, I think we were thinking about having
just there. Is she watching? Or did you text her back and tell her?
She's watching on Facebook.
Hold on, I'll be quiet for a second while you text Mike's mom back, as opposed to just her watching it live right now.
Yeah.
No, the guest was not able to make it. It was we thought we might have had a surprise guest. It was just someone from the industry that didn't work out.
Yeah.
But. So ultimately,
sorry, you don't have to watch anymore.
Yeah, that's it. You can turn it off, Mom. So I say to myself, you know what? So I got a little annoyed by the speed of which he was getting back to me all of a sudden when normally it's just a grind. Like,
well, it just happened to be a time because I texted you first.
Oh,
so it
sure
just happened
did.
to be a time where I had a few down minutes at work.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're texting me if I'm
work.
driving.
Let's talk about work for a second,
Oh, boy.
okay? Let's talk about work. So, I'd say going on 5 or 6 years ago, Mike comes into the place that I work, which is a school that offers certain trainings and stuff like that. And Mike's like, hey, man, you know, I'm leaving my current industry. I need some new work. You know, we have any ideas. And I gave him an idea, and we got him into the program. And I said, but wait, there might be a chance that we can not only have you come to school here, but maybe we can have you come here for free and save you $16,000.
Wow.
And it's nothing to do with it. I said,
I'm not looking for any handouts.
there's some money potentially from the because you're out of work, yada yada. I make a couple of phone calls. Mike has to like show up to one place for like 5 minutes. Next thing you know, there's a voucher sent over, and he's starting school and getting it for free, $16,000. Wow. So he goes through the school, and I see Mike every day for 7.5 months, and he does this program, and he does very well, and he's the belle of the ball. All of a sudden, he is now the comedian at the place that I was the comedian at.
You hated that, didn't you?
Everyone's a comedian. Everyone's like, oh no, but we have a comedian here. It's Mike Keegan, you know. So that happens, and he graduates, and 5 years later, he still has a day job to keep him humble, and certainly some extra cash.
Yeah.
So that's number one. 2.5 years ago or so, when I finally decided, after being reached out to a couple of times by some people at the club about a podcast, I had a few candidates that I was thinking about. But who do I call is my number one call to as a podcast co-host, Mike Keegan. Oh, look at that. Mike Keegan. So now we're talking a career. We're talking a podcast that's been working out pretty well, wouldn't you say?
I'm having a good time.
Yeah. You're having a good time. You're having a good time. Yeah. Okay.
I hate
good.
this.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Hold on. Number three. Number three. I don't know. Like certainly, whenever people text me with gigs that I have no intention of doing, that are nicely paid gigs, but because of my, whatever it is, just call Keegan. Okay, I'll call Keegan and I'll hire him and pay him the $250 for the 10 minutes to go ahead and do a spot. So that's number three. So we have career, podcast, gigs. We have show tickets. So we talked about that.
Well, that's still up in the air.
Oh, now, was it up in the air when we were sitting in the owner's box this summer? No,
that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And then the other day, Mike texted me. This was the tip of the iceberg. He texted me. He's like,
and I told you 4 tickets this time, not 2, right?
4 tickets. That's right.
I told my boss I have a hookup.
So he texts me. I know you had mentioned that you have a connection with catering halls, and we're planning on doing Juliana's christening or whatever. What was it called?
Communion.
The communion. Can you get me some contact info for that? So now I am booking communions and confirmations as well for Mikey. So yeah. So I would say that. So do you want to go ahead? Tony said, "Are we comparing?" What's your list, Mike?
So what I'm hearing here, is that I gave you the pleasure of seeing me every day at work.
Yes,
take add a little bit of levity.
Levity. Yeah,
mundane day at your
boring
job.
Life. Yeah.
So I did that for you.
Yep.
I'm giving wings to this podcast that would otherwise just be you sitting here kvetching all day, and I'm a
okay, fair.
I'm a welcome resource to this podcast. You're welcome. I'm
you
allowing you
Yeah.
to help out small businesses by booking communions at their catering halls.
So helping local industry.
And helping local industry.
Fair.
And you're going to get the credit for that from me
Yeah.
stimulating the economy.
Right.
And all I asked for was a couple of lousy, measly concert tickets in return.
That's it.
Well, you're welcome, Mark.
Seems like it's even Steven
It
there.
sounds pretty even to me.
It seems like
You
it's
know
even
what it is?
Steven.
That's what we are. We give and take a little here.
You know what? I told Mike the line today that I was thinking of, and for the older population who are familiar with one of the greatest comedic films of all time, which you are for sure. You're a little bit young for it, but have you seen Arthur, the original
of course.
Arthur? Yeah.
Russell Brand.
Oh my god!
No.
So in the original Arthur, his guy Hobson was his Bellman. What do you call? What was Hobson's role?
Butler.
Yeah. And Hobson, played by the legendary
Queen Latifah. Is that who? Hobson was a female in the new Arthur,
yeah, it's
right?
fucking disgraceful.
Yeah. Was it her?
Well, I don't think it was Queen Latifah. It was somebody though. It was a female.
Mike is gonna say it was one of them. It was one of them.
It's one of those. Queen Latifah,
Bernie Mac. He doesn't know.
Nikki B, Cardi Minaj. One of those things.
Yeah. It was played by the legendary Sir John Gielgud. And at one point, Sir John Gielgud turns to Arthur, played by the wonderful late Dudley Moore, and he says, "Perhaps you would like me to wash your dick for you."
You know,
you
yes,
little shit. That's what he said.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
You know, yes, I would.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of when Mike was peppering me
You're
today.
my Hobson.
Yeah, I am your Hobson.
Thank you for being my Hobson.
That was a great film. And
what a great film. One of the best lines.
And what a disgrace that they made it over. I forgot about the Russell
Brand
Brand.
one. I couldn't.
Awful.
Arthur's one of my favorite movies of all time, and
Yeah.
I couldn't get through more than 30 minutes of the Russell Brand.
If you
one.
think about it, Dudley Moore was ridiculously incredible in that movie, but Liza Minnelli,
Liza Minnelli is phenomenal. The guy that played Seinfeld's father.
that's exactly right. Seinfeld's father who played Liza Minnelli's father. Phenomenal film.
One of the greatest lines ever in a movie when he's in the girlfriend's father's library, and
Yes.
he goes. He's all talking about a drink, and he goes, we don't drink." He goes, "You must never run out of ice ever."
that was that father was a mean guy, man.
He was. Remember they had the taxidermy moose.
head, yeah.
You must have hated that moose.
That was a great film.
What a great movie. A lot of great lines.
What are
in
you
that movie.
what are you pulling up, Mr. Producer?
When you get caught
I was trying to
between
figure
the
out-
moon and New York City.
It's not Queen Latifah. I was trying to figure out who it was, but
So
I don't
Best
see it.
Mikey
that
was
you
just
can
singing
do.
a little Christopher
The
Cross.
best that you can do.
Christopher
fall in
Cross
love.
is a Long Island guy who has actually been, I believe that Donna Drake has interviewed Chris Cross
really?
on Long Island.
They were those two little colored guys that wore their things backwards, right?
Chris Cross, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris Cross, that's exactly right. No, Christopher Cross sailing and
Take me away.
Yeah, if you could get Chris Cross for this show,
I'm gonna reach out to Christopher. That's the first thing I'm doing when I get home.
Dude.
And will all of this be?
I'm just saying, like,
Will all of
just
this be
get,
exonerated?
like, just listen, you know,
All of your animosity towards me?
I'm like, you know, hey, Pig Vomit, my guy got, you know, fucking Salzburg and Frank the Tank and this one and that one. If you call me and say, I don't give me no RAO business or anything like that, or you know,
That's one thing that
Irving
you've gotten me
Loring.
that I've never been able to reciprocate. You got me a Pig Vomit. I've never gotten anybody on that
Or
caliber that
you,
I love
You
so
brought
much.
me Irving Lawrence and Irving Lawrence. If you could get, I don't think it's impossible to get Christopher Cross. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think it's
I'm just
impossible.
saying.
I'm going to reach out to him.
But I do have a list of people, by the way, that over the past 2 years that I have written down that Mike told me that he thinks he can get us. One of them being Greg Nettles, who's my favorite baseball player of all time.
I'm working on it.
Greg Nettles. I used to have my. Oh, do I have it in this book? The list was voluminous, by the way, of people that Mike was going to get, and Greg Nettles is my guy. You know,
he was
that's
phenomenal.
You know,
Yep.
that's why I have a big tattoo number 9 on my back. So that was definitely one of them. The other one was, well, you never actually did state that you thought you could get the guy from Jackass.
Preston.
Just because he doesn't like doing podcasts.
Yeah, he's a very. I talk to him weekly,
Yeah.
but he just doesn't like doing podcasts.
Yeah.
But
Except for the podcast I saw him on last week, which was he was exceptional at. Actually,
I got the Copenhagen Bandit.
The Copenhagen Bandit was really good.
Well, so you meant Christopher Cross. What about Billy Vera? Remember Billy Vera?
And the Beaters?
Yes,
Yeah.
I could probably get him.
What's your Billy? I got that song At This Moment.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
I love that song.
It's a
I
great
love
song, yeah.
it. Was from the show Family Ties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know anything about that show or the song.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Good guess, Mark.
Is Billy Vera is? I'm like the guy who goes around with Sal Governale.
I was gonna say like Billy Mayer. I can get Billy Mayer. Billy Mayer is in my car right now.
Zach can text him right now and have him here in 5 minutes. It's my life. You must have a contact for.
I took a chance a few years ago to get him to get a phone call with him on my show, and he responded very quickly.
Are you kidding
and
me?
we did it. We had him on.
That's
and he was probably on the and I'm with you. Family Ties and that song.
Oh my God!
But we must have had him on the phone for a half hour.
I had.
Oh,
I
you
will
know
tell
what?
you.
Actually, my friend just texted me. We can get Bobby Nystrom.
Oh, cool.
I mean, this is what Mike does, though. And he tricks me into thinking that we can get Bobby Nystrom.
I'm going to see Bobby Nystrom in a couple weeks at
Okay.
this fundraiser that I go to.
Okay.
With my buddy Frank and my buddy Vinny. We're going to
Okay.
go to this fundraiser. Bobby Nystrom's going to be there.
Okay.
I'm
Are
gonna-
you going to step up to the plate
I
and
will.
ask him,
I
though?
will.
Okay.
I saw him last year. He loves me. He's got big hands, big old paws, Bobby Nystrom.
I mean, you know who I could get, and I won't because of my experience with him. And I don't even think I've ever talked about it on the show, but a few years ago, I had a 3-hour sit-down encounter with me and one of my childhood best friends and Lenny Dykstra just sitting in my buddy's office. And I honestly thought I wasn't going to get out of it. Like, it was that intense, and listening to this guy's stories. He's out there. He's way out there. And it was just like this, just sitting with no cameras, just us bullshitting. He would come on anytime if I wanted to get Lenny Dykstra on. I just don't know if I want to do that.
I would love to get
Yeah.
Lenny
Oh,
Dykstra.
yeah.
Get-
Well,
get
he just
nails
had
on
a
the
stroke. Did you hear that?
Oh, so maybe we won't get him
No, but
immediately.
then-
No, that would be even better. I would definitely want a stroke guy.
About a week later, he was on Howard, and he's slurring more than ever. But he's
God.
working his
I
way
would love to
back.
get Lenny Dykstra.
So
speaking of the event that I'm going to,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Are
going to
you
be.
promoting this
I'm
now?
going to promote it real
Yeah,
quick.
do it.
It's
That's fine.
It's called Think Happy. It's a fundraiser at the Jericho Terrace on Wednesday, March 20th. It's a fundraiser for children who have lost their siblings or parents, grieving
Okay.
children. Raise funds for them. Jericho Terrace, March 20th. Bobby Nystrom is going to be there along with Brian Trottier. Pat LaFontaine's going to be there.
You went to the event
reach out
last
to
year
these
too,
guys. I
though.
went last year. It's a great time.
Yeah.
Great raffles, great open bar. So reach out to me, and I'll get you in touch with my friend Frank or anybody else that's running it. And if you're interested in going, it's a great event. It's a lot of fun. Jericho Terrace, March 20th.
Now, there's no comedy involvement there, right? Like,
No, there's no comedy there.
you just go to
I
do the
I
right
go
thing.
as a civilian.
Yeah.
I put on my civilian hat. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
But it's a good time. It's a great event for a great cause.
Yeah, when push comes to shove, you are a good person.
Oh, thank you.
And I jest with you, but I will tell you that if you don't get Nystrom, I'll go back to being mean to you. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You know what? I don't even know if I texted you about this. I told you because usually I do share things that are good in my life. But Stacy was up for a new lease. We lease her a new car every 3 years.
So you were leasing Stacy.
We leased Stacy out. Yeah, we gave her
Did you
back.
renew?
Yeah, I got a 23-year-old Filipino girl instead. And yeah. So, but no, we went on Saturday to look for a new vehicle for Stacy, and Sunday we got it. Like
Really?
it happened very, very quickly. It was a connection, a buddy of mine, and I will tell you that I had a good experience
You
with
got
this.
you got a car connection?
I have a little car connection. You need a car? Yeah, you need a car. I'm sure. But the vehicle that we got, it was it's called a Palisade, a Hyundai Palisade.
Oh, that's a beautiful car.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like with the sunroof and the this and that.
What color?
It's like a burgundy wine. Like it's pretty hot. Yeah, it's a pretty hot vehicle. And I have to tell you, my experience with the sales guy, this guy Al, who was like just a great. You know what? When you're a car salesman, you have a little bit of a stereotype that you're a scamming bullshitter.
Yeah, kind of like
and this guy,
like a weasel.
yeah, like this guy was everything but. You know, he was just like
He was a butt weasel.
yeah, he just loved the butt. He loved it in the butt. He loved to touch my butt. No, he was just legit. Like, he was a
Really,
legit
yeah?
guy. But he wasn't like a cut up. Like, he was very straight. Like, even if I was trying to make jokes, he was very straightforward, you know? Just a nice, he's a black guy in his late 50s, maybe, I'm guessing, something like that, early 60s. And we had a really nice...
I like those, the non-threatening ones.
We had a nice relationship. And I'll tell you, it gave me... At one point, he gave me a laugh that one of the hardest laughs that I've had in a long time. So we're in the car. I'm picking it up on Sunday, and we're going through all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, the whiffles. You were playing.
We were playing wiffle ball bat at the dealership. I'm like, I just want the car. I'm like, you keep on throwing these curveballs, and I can't hit them. And you know what I mean? It's just I can't anymore. The bat's so thin and yellow. You know,
bells and whiffles.
So he's showing me like the power trunk and the remote start and the sunroof and everything like that. And then he turns on the seats, and the seats from the actual seat, you get air conditioning. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And in a very dry, straight way, he wasn't trying to make a joke or anything like that, but he was telling me that that during the summertime, it will provide you with floating testicles of coolness. Floating testicles of coolness is what he told me. Yeah. And he wasn't trying to make me laugh at all. And it just hit me, and I'm like cracking up that this guy's selling me in a car based on floating testicles of coolness. Yeah. He's like, when you're wearing your shorts and they turn on the air conditioning and the seats goes up, he's like, you get some floating testicles of coolness. And I'm like, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah,
I'll keep that in mind.
My wife
so
will be happy.
That was a good selling point. So that had happened.
Floating
And
testicles of cool.
Yeah,
that should be the name of your comedy album.
Yeah, that should be the name of this podcast.
This pasta cast.
So we had a nice experience, and I brought the car home, and so far Stacy's happy.
It's a beautiful
no
car.
complaints.
I love the Palisade.
It's definitely. One thing that I wanted to talk about, and I certainly don't want this to be a PSA for pro cigarette smokers, but something that I saw yesterday.
Like professional cigarette smokers?
like a competition, like how many you can smoke. No, I don't want. Listen, we all know that cigarette smoking's bad and it's bad for your lungs and this and that, but have you ever seen, so I'm driving down Hempstead Turnpike, and I'm passing the car wash yesterday, and there's a guy, looks like he's like a, construction worker, burly guy, and he must be getting his truck, probably like a Ford Ram or something, getting washed, and he's like a little bit, hands are dirty, his big paws, and I'm watching him, I'm at a light, and I'm watching him. You ever see when someone smokes and they enjoy the cigarette, with their lips, I'm watching, I'm like, nobody should ever try to tell this guy to stop smoking.
Nope, exactly.
Because he enjoys it. I'm sure there are people who just smoke because they're bored or they're,
or they can't stop. And
they're hooked, they're chemically fixated on it. But this guy, he sucked in every goddamn puff, and he was loving it. I'm like, I hope none of these commercials with the people with voice boxes, I hope they don't dissuade him from smoking.
I want this guy to smoke until the day he dies.
I want him to smoke until a fiery death, honestly. Because I watch this guy, I'm like, he's just so happy right now. Just sucking away at that camel.
Good for that guy.
Yeah. He's camel sucking.
He's a camel sucker.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I don't think you're allowed to say that, Mark.
No, I didn't want to say that, but so that's it.
Who's that guy? Have you seen neck tattoo around at all?
I saw Necky last week at Nino's basketball game. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen him in another place yet, though. I've only seen him in places where
it's so funny that you see this guy.
Yeah,
and you're just like, oh, I talk about you on my podcast. That's a normal thing.
Yeah, no. Now that the last time I saw him after that, he just gave me a fist pound. I think he's had enough. So I have to back up. I have to back off at this point. Yeah. Well, we covered a whole lot of stuff. We've gone through the hour here, so we'll do what we normally do, wrap it up with anything that Mikey's got coming up as far as comedy shows and Tony and his traveling circus. Go ahead, Mikey.
Most importantly, this Friday night right here at Governor's Comedy Club in the Giggle Room, Mike Keegan and Friends, 8 o'clock show.
Awesome.
Tickets on sale at govs.com, govs.com.
Terrific.
Please come. Support the show. Support local comedy.
Yep. Awesome.
And we'd love to see you there. It's going to be a fun show. I got it's me, Carla, Hugh Murray's hosting.
Oh, wow.
Jackie Mason's daughter, Sheba, is going to be on the show.
That's amazing. That's really good.
Daughter of legendary comedian Jackie Mason.
Yeah.
And
you got Roy George on the show?
Roy George, Vinny D'Agostino.
Dude, that's a good show you got.
It's a great show. It's going to be a phenomenal show.
Conchetta Coppola's coming on?
Conchetta Coppola, Chris Cassandro,
Chuck Fox.
Chuck Fox.
Jesus.
Hugh Van Well.
Wow.
Eric Casson.
Yeah, all right. Well, and what and then you got Paisanos on the when is this year?
That's a great show. That's I forget the date on that one, but that's a great show.
May 30th. You got Paisanos.
Yep. It's in Rutherford, New Jersey.
Great. That's in Rutherford, Pennsylvania.
That's in Rutherford.
Yeah, nice.
Rutherford, Indianapolis.
And okay, good. So you got a lot of stuff. Tony, the Magical Mystery Tour. What do you got going on for yourself, my friend?
Tomorrow night, you can see us performing a murder mystery at that meatball place out in Patchogue. Also, tomorrow night, Richie Byrne hosting our rock and roll trivia at Central Islip Library.
So you can be in CI to watch Richie do the library thing, or if you guys want to see Tony's Tony and Tina's wedding type of show. And will there be food at the meatball place?
Meatballs.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you're just using the No, I don't know if you're just using the room for
no, it's a package deal.
Oh, a package deal. Okay.
Great food there.
So meatballs and Tony's show. What's better than that?
They do have awesome food there.
They do.
Yeah,
It's
meatball
so
place
good.
is good.
Yeah.
Really good. Okay, folks. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You know the deal. You got to share us and tell your friends. And
Hey, listen, can we make a plea to everybody?
make a plea. Yeah.
Everybody share it and have one friend share it.
That's
Just
right.
spread the word. Just like and share and comment. That's it. That's all. It's very simple.
I don't know about Mikey, but I've been getting a lot of people communicating with me that they're really enjoying the social media, TikTok and Instagram as well. So you listen, if you don't have the time to watch our entire show every week, we get it. We want you to, but if you can't, you can't. But you can definitely share the Instagram and the TikTok.
We have 1 minute clips. Share those.
Yeah, I mean,
get them out there.
I put one out yesterday that was 10 seconds, the Frank the Tank one. So you guys can share those. That will really help us. It'll help our growth.
Yeah, you
and
can listen to Mark talk about chicken cutlets.
yeah, I mean, we want to get to the point where we're big enough to not talk to any of you anymore.
Exactly.
So we appreciate you guys. We will be back next Tuesday. Thank you as always, and we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.